solve for functions. And we have here a function, f of x is equals to x cubed minus 2x with the values of negative 2, 0, 2, and cosine x. So, first we are going to change our value into negative 2. So, f of negative 2. So, in this equation, we are going to change all x into negative 2. So, negative 2 cubed minus 2 times negative 2. So, negative 2 times negative 2, positive 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. So, negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. So, simplify. Negative 8 plus 4 is minus. We are going to minus and copy the sign of the bigger numbers, so negative 4. That's for our f of 2. Next is for the values of 0. So, here, x cubed minus 2x. So, f of 0. So, times 2 times 0. So, 0 minus 0 is 0. So, for the values of function of 0 is 0. Next is positive 2. So, here, f of x cubed minus 2x. So, we're going to change all the values of x into positive 2. So, 2 to the third power minus times to the positive 2. 8 minus 4. And for our final answer, we have 4. Next is we have here cosine x. So, f of x is equals to x to the power of 3 minus 2x. So, all values of x are changed into cosine x. So, what will happen is cosine x minus 2 times cosine x. Next step, we are going to move out cosine x to simplify the equation. So, cosine x times, what will happen? Cosine x divided by cosine x is cosine to the second power x minus 2. Because cosine x divided by cosine x is simply cosine. So, for our final answer, for the cosine of x, we have this final answer. So, we have 4 final answers. That's all. Thank you. Good day everyone. We are going to solve for limits. What we have here is limit of 2 times the quantity of negative 3 plus x squared minus 18 over x as x approaches to 0. In this equation, if we simply plug in 0 as x, we will get a result of undefined result. So we need to first extract this equation. So first is this, the inside the parentheses. So 2 times 9 minus 6x plus x squared. X squared minus 15. Simply copy 18 and also the denominator x. Next is we're going to distribute 2 inside the equation. So 2 times 9 is 18. 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. 12x plus 2x. 2x squared minus 15. And again, simply copy the denominator. Next step is to combine the like terms. We have these two constants, positive 18 and negative 18. So if going to combine, positive 18 minus negative minus 18 is automatic 0. So what's left is negative 12x plus 2x squared over x. Next is we're going to factor out x in this equation. So x negative, what's left is negative 12 plus 2x over x. Automatic cross out. So what's left is negative 12. Negative 12 plus 2x. Now we have limits as x approaches to 0. If we're going to solve here, going to change all the x into 0, we have negative 12 plus 2 times 0 since we have x. So what we have is negative 12. Equals to 0. Limit of 2 times negative 3 plus x squared minus 18 over x as x approaches to 0 is negative 12. Thank you. Our next activity, we are going to solve for the derivatives. So we have this equation, y is equals to x cubed plus 1 over 2x squared with the point at negative 1 and 1. So in this equation, we are going to use the quotient rule. In quotient rule, we are following the rule of v du minus u dv over v squared. With this, we need to let u as our numerator, x cubed plus 1, and v as the denominator, which is 2x squared. So, to solve, we need to follow this formula or equation. So, for our y prime, so equals to our v or the numerator is 2x squared times the derivative of u or the derivative of our numerator, x cubed plus 1. So the derivative of this is 3x squared, right? Minus, next is the u. Simply copy the u or the numerator, which is the cubed plus 1. And then dv, or the derivative of the v, derivative of the low, or the denominator, derivative of 2x squared is 4x. Times 4x. Don't mind this x. Over all over the square root of the v, or the square root of the denominator. So 2x squared squared, sorry. So simplifying the equation. So we need to multiply these two equations. So 2x squared times 3x squared is 6x squared. 6x to the 4th power, sorry. Minus quantity, okay. Distribute 4x to this equation. 4x times x cubed is 4x to the 4th power. 4x to the 4th power plus 4x over all over. So 2x squared this square is 4x to the 4th. X to the 4th. Okay, so simply simplify 4x to the 4th minus 4x. Simply in this equation, combine like terms. We have this 2x with the degree of 4, so 6x to the 4th minus 4x to the 4th is 2x to the 4th. Simply copy the minus 4x over 4x to the 4th. Next is, we can transform this equation into the lowest term, so by extracting 2x out of the equation. So we have 2x times, what will happen is, what's left is x to the 3rd power minus 4x divided by 2x is 2 over 4x to the 4th, and we can cross out or simplify this too. So what's left is x cubed minus 2 over 2x to the power of 2x to the power of 3. This is the first derivative. So for our second derivative, we need to solve for the second derivative. So x to the second derivative equals to, so we need to copy this first, minus 2 over 2x to the 3rd power. So this is our first derivative, so we're going to move on to the second derivative. So we are still going to use the quotient rule, which is the v derivative of u minus u derivative of v over the square of v. So next is, for the second prime, we are going to now let u is equals to our new numerator, which is the x cubed minus 2, and our v, our new denominator, which is the 2x cubed. So to simply solve our v, copy 2x cubed times the derivative of our u, which is 3x to the second power minus our u, which is x cubed minus 2, x cubed minus 2 multiply to the derivative of our v, which is 3 times 2 is 6 squared all over the square of 2x cubed. So 2x cubed square. Sorry. So simplifying this equation, 2x cubed times 3x squared is 6x to the 5th power minus, so distribute 6x squared to this equation. So 6x squared multiplied to x cubed is 6x to the 5th power, and then simply negative 12 to the x second power over, we have here is square, so my mistake, so this is not 6x to the 6, but it is 4x to the 6th power. So next is simplify this equation. So we have 6x to the 5th minus 6x to the 5th plus 12x squared all over the 4x to the 6th power. So combine like terms or subtract like terms. So 6x to the 5th minus 6x to the 5th is automatic 0. So what's left is positive 12x squared over 4x to the 6. If we are going to simplify this equation, what will happen is move 4x. So what's left is 3x. Okay, sorry, 3x over, so 4x to the 6th power, so we're going to cross out. So what's left is 3x over 4x to the 6th power divided by 4x is simply x to the 5th. So this is our second derivative. 3x over x to the 5th power. So we're going to move on to the third derivative. We are going to solve for the third derivative. So we are going to use this space for third derivative. So for third derivative, okay, we are here. Third derivative, need to copy this first. 3x over x to the 5th. Okay. So still going to use quotient rule. For our third derivative, so let u is equals to simply 3x and v, which is x to the 5th. So let's try. So we have here is the v is x to the 5th multiply to the derivative of our numerator, which is simply 3, because we have 1 here. So 1 times 3 is 3. And then 1 minus 1 is 0. So x powered to 0 is 1. So 1 times 3 is 3. Minus. We have here. So first is copy the u, which is 3x. And the derivative of x to the 5th is, okay, so we have 5 minus 1, 5x, 5 minus 1, 4, all over our v, which is x to the 5th squared. X to the, okay. So next is simplify the equation. So what we have here is 3x to the 5th minus 3x times 5x to the 4th is 15x to the 5th over x to the 10th power. Here. So 3x to the 5th minus 15x to the 5th over x to the 10. So simply simplify 3x to the 5th minus 15x to the 5th is negative 12x to the 5th over x to the 10. So we're going to move out x to the 5th, okay, to simplify the equation. So we have x to the 5th. Oh, sorry. Simply 12 only. Only 12 is left. We have here x. Sorry. So divide or cross out. So we have 12 over x to the 5th. So this is the third derivative. Okay? We're out of ink. So we have here is, so this is our first derivative. Sorry for the mess. First derivative, second derivative, and third derivative. So we have here is a slope. We need to solve for the slope at point which is negative 1 and 1. So for finding the slope, we are simply gonna use the first derivative equation. So here, so for slope, y is equals to x cubed minus 2 over 2x cubed. So x is equals to negative 1. So substitute all value of x into negative 1. So negative 1 cubed minus 2. 2 times negative 1 cube. Cube. Sorry. So negative 1 times negative 1, positive 1 times negative 1 is still negative 1, and copy 2, negative 2 over 2 times negative 1. So negative 3 over negative 2. So we have y is equals to negative 3. So we have the slope y is equals to negative 3 halves. Thank you.